everybody, this is Lara Croft. I have been tanking through all the powers, and to be honest, the two powers that I actually grew addicting to is Fire and Rage. If you are new to my channel, please subscribe, hit the like button, dislike button. This is my character. I used to be going as Raging Lady Sif. I run the league now that is called True Royalty. Before we get started on fire tanking and skill points, what you need for fire tanking is Restoration and Dominance. My dominance as of this moment is actually 6,583, and my restoration is 5,284. You also need your defense to be up there too, but that doesn't really matter. But mostly dominance and restoration, because restoration actually goes with dominance. The more dominance you have within your restoration, the better off your heals and the better off your shields will be. Now, every tank knows this, at least I'm pretty sure. And yes, I am a woman, because most people have asked me, like, are you a woman, are you a guy? I'm definitely a woman. I've been playing this game since the beta, and I actually enjoy this game. Hopefully you guys will too. I don't have any actual mods because I don't make mods. I usually save up my money to buy them. What you need for your can't think of it. Your tactical mods is, we'll start at the weapon. You need Absorption Adapter for your weapon, Fortified Assault for your neck, for your back, Breakout Regeneration, for your chest, Reserve Tank, which actually maximizes your power bar. For your hands, you want Rejuvenation Shielding, so that way you can heal when you're actually shielding, pop a shield power. For your feet, you're going to use Deadly Block, because I know some tanks actually use Explosive Block, but I've noticed that if you use Deadly Block, the ads and the bosses will still stay on you. So please use Deadly Block. I recommend it. And it's also equalized to your precision. So if you would have a really high precision as a tank, which is really good when you're using Deadly Block, because when they punch you and you're blocking, it does a lot of damage. But so we get started, for your loadout, you're gonna want Engulf, which is your AoE pull, and Immolation, which is your shield. And usually what I do is use Immolation clipped with Backdraft. I'll get to you guys with Backdraft in a minute. But Immolation is actually a shield that actually goes pretty much around you, and actually it blocks incoming damage for a short amount of time. And with Rejuvenation Shielding, it actually heals you for a little bit. Now, Burning Determination is actually a heal over time. It heals you up to 10 times. Backdraft is another AoE pull, and it also pulls enemies towards you that are way out there or gone towards other people. Burnout is actually a group breakout. It'll break out up to 7 teammates. So it's very helpful in raids, like if people are getting stunned and knocked down and getting ready to get killed. A group breakout is always really good to have. Stoke Flames is another heal. It'll heal short amount of damage. It's not as good as burning determination. Determination. But but stoke flame is really good to have. People usually use internal flame. I don't use internal flame because it may shield, but with the charge of the supercharge, I mean, you never really want to use supercharges for a tank loadout because, I mean, unless you're using rage is vindictive. But anyway, I have other loadouts for rage. But like I said, I will go through the tank powers and I will start teaching people what I use. And if you guys like it, like I said, subscribe, let me know. And now we'll get into the skill points. The skill points, what you're going to do is actually go to your weapon. Since I've got one-handed, I don't use weapon mastery with tanking because there's no real need to. And fire tanking is kind of like rage tanking. You don't really need to block with fire, which I just found out recently. Which used to be all the time that you would block with fire. Since they fixed it, since the revamp, so if you like rage, I recommend try out fire. It's really, really fun. But yeah, you grab your weapon, the combos, and then you're gonna go into your flight, and of course grab the movement. You don't need all this other stuff, even though some people actually do use it, because for some factors it helps you break out easier. I don't need all that extra stuff. As you can see, I don't have the skill points to do that. So what I did is went to stat points. What people normally do is go and do superpowers. But what I do, the reason why I use excuse me, hybrid, is because hybrid, as long as you're using your weapon attacks, which most of the time when you're tanking you're going to be using anyway, your weapon attacks will actually give you power back over time. The combos that you do with your weapon will actually give you power back regardless. Then you want critical healing chance. Even though it says for recommend for healer, fire tank and rage tanking, they are healing powers. It's not like atomic, earth, or ice. Rage and fire are really, really good. Most people go for health and dom, but with what I should have went with, which is what I recommend with, is restoration and dom, because like I said, restoration is actually gonna increase your heals. Now, dominance is really good to have. Although, I mean, if you don't have that much skill points like what I have, that's okay. All you have to do is grab a hybrid, critical healing chance, and even out restoration with your dom. So like I said, if you want to go 50-50 to these two, to restoration and dom, that's good. As long as you can keep them equal, that's pretty much okay. You need elite for tanking. What I've noticed is that what I've been told, for all recommended minimum dominance, you always want 1,500 more dominance than what the minimum is. That way you can actually pull the bosses too, and make sure that they're on you. But anyway, like I said, I've been playing this game for a long time. I never really had a problem with fire, and I just started it recently. But anyway, that's pretty much it. So get your dominance and restoration, and I will show you the rotation of fire as of right now. So basically, when you're going up to the ads or whatever you're fighting, you're gonna pull and then clip with your shield. Which I don't remember the name of the shield. Like I said, I only switched to this power just recently. The shield is called immolation. So, like I said, you're gonna pull and then go into your shield. And then use backdraft. And as you can see, for my weapons, since I've got hybrid, I can get my power back. As long as I do combos. You don't necessarily have to do combos, but if you do combos, see, like this one here, it gives you more power back. People recommend that you use a superpower or weapons, but the reason why I use hybrid is because you're going to be tanking with powers, and then you're going to be using your weapon for damage. And every tank should I recommend this for every tank. Every tank should actually use hybrid, because for the simple fact is you're going to be using your weapon most of the time that you're tanking, because that's your damage. Now, you pull, shield, backdraft, and sometimes when you're actually like really low on health, you'll pop both healing moves. You can clip them together. It burns the enemies over time, and then you like backdraft again to pull them in. And like I said, it's really easy to follow through. You never have to block with fire. I will shoot another video after this to actually show you the fire tanking in action. God damn, my voice. I'm not feeling well, I'm sorry. Anyway. Anyway, I will show you the fire tanking in action, and you can judge it by yourself. So, like I said, subscribe, give me some feedback, let me know if there's something I could do better, or something that I'm doing wrong. I mean, I really need to have some viewers. I mean, like I said, I'm really just trying to be helpful, and DC Universe is a really fun game to play. I've really enjoyed it. I actually played most of the powers here. The only ones I really not too sure about is mental, water, and nature, I do believe. I have not played those powers because I don't understand them. I've played all the other powers, and I really enjoyed Fire and Rage. Now, with Rage, I shot a video not too long ago, but it's been a while since I've shot a video. So I decided to actually upload a video about fire tanking. Now, notice that fire tanking is pretty well self-explanatory. The difference between fire tanking and rage tanking: rage has a severe punishment. The severe punishment is kind of like a shield, but the thing with severe punishment is if you don't time it just right, you rage crash. And if you rage crash, you can take all the damage that you were healed from, and you take it all back. So say you healed for like 14,000 damage. After 8 seconds, you will lose 14,000 damage. If not, like 12,000. I mean, it depends on how much you've taken in with severe punishment active. But that's another video. But I will also self-explain. I know this may be a tanking loadout build. I will also self-explain fire DPS. Fire DPS is really cool too. I think this is the build right here. Yes, it is. Alright. The fire DPS is self-explanatory, just like fire tanking. The only difference with fire DPS is that you're going to be long range. So basically, you're going to start off... Well, sorry. Maybe I should go with skill points first. I mean the mods first. That's what I forgot. But wait. Basically, what you're going to need is... Since all the powers are might-based, you're going to need Executing Might for your neck, Berserker for your back, Core Strength is usually the white mod that I use there, for your chest, Deadly Block again. I would recommend Explosive Block because you're long range, and if the people or ads or whatever you're fighting is up close to you, it does not really help you if they're on top of you for this loadout. And then you want rejuvenation shielding again. But anyway, my might is at 13,350, and you also need a little bit of precision depending on what your weapon is. But precision helps weapon, and weapon DPS is actually basically precision in its own way. So higher up your weapon DPS and precision. The way that and another thing for the fire DPS loadout that I found out really works is that you're gonna use Inferno that actually burns a target, burns all the targets, and makes make them vulnerable to burning effects to do extra damage. And the way that works, I'll show you in a minute. And then you're going to use Overheat, Wildfire, spawn it. Yeah, I can't really say this one. Spontaneous combustion, and then you're going to use Flame Cascade. Usually, Flame Cascade is going to be replaced. I don't remember the power. Hold on a minute. Some people use Fire Burst. I think it's what it's called. I don't use Fire Burst because Flame Cascade is... Because Flame Cascade does not have a cooldown. Fire Burst, on the other hand, does have a cooldown. So you can basically spam Flame Cascade. So that's why I use Flame Cascade instead of Fire Burst. Now the way that this loadout works is you're gonna pop Inferno, start burning all the enemies, and just basically 1, 2, and then just spam Flame Cascade. And then when Inferno comes back up, do that again, and then Flame Cascade. The Inferno actually activates burning effects. As you've noticed with these ads, hold on, let me get some power. As you've noted with the ads, when you use Inferno, it adds damage over time. And like I said, it adds burning effect. So you're gonna do that, this one, and then you're gonna spam Flame Cascade. You always want to make sure you have Inferno on the ground. Because if you don't have Inferno on the ground, I'm going to go over here and show you the difference on what happens. When you just use Flame Cascade, you're not hitting a whole lot. But with Inferno on the ground, see how much difference that is? They're hitting for the thousands. And with the better damage over time, I've never really, like I said, I don't really, um, I don't really play ice that much. I don't know much about ice, but I have played it. Um, I will I will make videos on other characters that I have. I have a sorcery and a quantum. I will make videos soon about those. I just wanted to show you guys how to either tank or DPS with fire. Now another thing that I don't really know how to PvP with fire. So I just basically just made up a random loadout. Shield. But anyway, it's basically self-explanatory. What I usually do is put on my PvP gear and go in tank roll. The reason why I do that is because and I use this stuff, the same loadout that I use for PvE. The reason why I do that because it's harder to kill a tank than it is to kill a DPS. So those of you that PvP, Rage and Fire is what I recommend. Rage has always been a PvP power. It's been a really fun PvP power. With Rage, if you want to tank with Rage, all you have to do is use Ragebringer, Severe Punishment, Eradicating Chain, Ire, and Without Mercy, and Vindictive. Some people trade Vindictive and use Remorseless Recovery. The reason why I don't use Remorseless Recovery is if I'm knocked down and I can't get up, I'll use Vindictive and it immunes my Rage Crash by 2 turns. And it's only a 7.5 supercharge, which is really, 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 really sweet to use. But anyway, that's basically how you rage tank, not rage tank, but fire tank. So, like I said, it's self-explanatory, and I will shoot another video after this. Thank you. Have a good one.